cable TV so na ene mewei me mobibia akwaba me chiachia obibia me damasese magene so eye ensema esisi wa Ghana a trendy na cable TV yade bremo se mobenye bi etie mobenye bi ahwe na mahu ensema ekoso wa Ghana na ne de esi wa Ghana na cable TV me de bremo mama yanko na yankohwe nya esi ewa oman Ghana emu
kwan omo be faso a Ghana japade nyina eba be di omo ne omo ma ene omo asefo ntem ensam etinipa o throw forward anani o say wasan oforiata ewa ha now forward no what dey hwe the first paragraph okay was say to our future made up of the present and the unborn, for whom this will of a nation is being prepared. So, what say a dachi? Any nasitra ye woman, any young kola ni and nan can someone young wo or mono. Womo, adna ye, yes, sir, a japadie or minor japadie, a diamaomo. So, what do you to me, I say, a mamma sum? Obi sesa tu mi na de ma no wo de ye japadie Ghana ajapadie nyina de ma nasefo and we are quiet now what say to our foremost king of Oripeni the progenies spread across this world for whom and to whom alone this sacred document is prepared ye yes adie we nyina de ahye of Oripeni adumunyam Ghana 40 ya. Hey. Mumia careful. 1 2 3 4 5. Paragraph 5.
Paragraph 5.
Was it currently with Nanado in total control of the whole entity of Ghana? We have a duty to ensure that we take over the commanding height of the essential fabric of the country in order that even in the event that Nana leaves the scene after the mandatory 8 years, the sons and daughters of Ochimai will be firmly secured and such control both financially and economically that we can no longer be ignored in the battle to control the destiny of Ghana. Ghana for Muntio. Memmo examples say this is not a fiction. And it's working. Working. In the forward na me more bibi. What's it? We're free 5. Now we're back 7, paragraph 7.
7, yeah.
What's it? In doing this, we need to be strategic. We will have to work with other people from some of the diverse ethnic groups, including some carefully selected people in Ashanti and other diverse ethnicities or land. This would make them believe that they also have a hand in the pie. It will be obscure any suspicion that the project is essentially an Oforupeni project. This point is crucial because with electoral politics, we have to have our eyes on the numbers in the electoral process. We cannot be blatant until we are completely secured in the endeavor. It is especially so because so far, the Ashantis constitute the single most populous ethnic groups in the country. So, it is Ashanti for the young man, and I say, I according to Agagan. Paragraph 19 in your kind. Paragraph 9. Was it although the Ashanti group within the current NPP is gearing itself to take over the party after Nana's tenure in 2024? It will be ideal if we could work to bypass them in 2024. Now, with hard work, we could work to pass the mantle over to non-account person, preferably from the north, under whose presidency we could secure the maturity of our takeover project.
Projects.
Where a prophecy is here. So being a trend down what church and they say a fiction and the interest anyone or a prophet. You who I know a prophet.
A serious issue.
What say Ashanti region and that's Ashanti for a NPP party no. Or more prepared on take over from Nana Akufo-Addo. Yeah, primaries. Alan Chamantin from Ashanti. Yeah. Boacha Japo from Ashanti. Adorye Mo from Ashanti. Akutofie from Ashanti. Kobna Japan from Ashanti. 5 people. 5. Out of 9 you say you know Mokoye. Kojo Poko is of Abraka 6.
Yeah.
So Ashanti region. Traditionally, Ashanti region is superb, very strong. Otumfo UK. Yamano Kwan ye best one in the Palanquin. UK. Akwesidano kwakodino o mama kwa ebeso ano o mo beji a whole street near group ketene ayi o hini bia ni ho betima kwa esade no it is a sadia then let's cut the Ashanti politically it is a betima ye so a yampe obi a wo ye non account person yemfa mano msi that man kwa ngo prebi e bia na get Hey, I'm gonna be back on preview if you don't get that, me. But what more ahead, preferably a person from the north.
They were
and then me know what say NPP Frabera over here.
No.
Official. Or once or CD, sa prophecy no.
Abem.
Look, mame amount. One day.
Na be good watch woman we die.
Book we dey mashada kind power.
I say baby I want person kind so watch road egu ho. Say be I will have mere.
O mantra.
Dabi me person obi be wia enti na match road dey.
Okay.
Wo wia pa wo bie ya no bia hu say media. So ne ete no. Hwe sa Labadi beach in sensemu na senator to na yenko any ade. Then, Anna Director General of Senate, Dr. Tinkran, ye nadi. Obi am one ye nadi.
Debbie. Letter no suit me say nipa o chore na bu afu pa.
Papa no ye na o me twa me hu America basisi a onya phone call as a Galloway.
Proceed on leave.
Because now he was not in agreement on certain things. Now, share near Ejapade Eka is talking about Mamema head in answer. It's talking about banking. Banking.
Okay, higher banking.
Banking or what chim mother. Mother no Bank of Ghana. Biological children. Ghana indigenous banks.
Banks no.
And they were adopted children. Adopted children hona mekono. Absa Eco Bank yimuni ne guy. Omuna adopted. Now, on the adopted Eco Bank. We have 2 routes of entry into the institution. First is through Senate, which has a seat on the board of Ecobank Ghana by virtue of its shareholding. The seat is occupied by the Director General of Senate. In phase 2 of our agenda, Kofi Bosompem Osafo-Maafo, who is a Deputy Director General of Senate, should be made the Director General to give him the seat on the Ecobank Ghana board.
To me. Hey.
On the Ecobank Ghana board. And now we say who is the Director General of Ghana Senate?
Bosompem.
What take his seat in all? Miyama Besu. Miyama Besu. Secondary. Papa, we madam for me respecting no pandi. Ya born wife with him in pesa meko. Wo de ma misi hono. Unya boku de bi na kan ya wa.
Wa be wu de wo mu.
Wo be de.
O pe say.
Okwa
anda banke. Wo be ku se ne sitie. Hwe eti yete honom. Ama abusuanko baako. Eje Ghana Japade nyina. So Capital Bank, pan e fa so e group Kwasi Ndum Bank, ene ne atwere wa hase.
Nya no de wa ha. Eno de sa portion no makan.
Eno ne aye no hase no. Now, Uber under insurance, your mother, your biological, and you were adopted. So, now, why your mufaswa, ye pia SSC, SNJ. Near Kofa Enterprise Insurance, and non the Yebia, Enterprise Insurance, one Nura.
Cano for
that. Government a Yibia. Ya Fosu Bia. One from Enterprise Insurance. You are in trouble.
And as SIC na your mind there na e basa.
Ja to baby. Ja to baby. Hwe ukọ bank sector. Kwaye fa so ye de data bank. And na ye bibia loans aye gigi nyina ne ade. Nipa ebusuan ba akọpe. Ya no mu de ye gala we for. Who can we ya? Obeti NPP mbesori agina e ba be defend this rot. Now what you want na wo bre. Yes say to our future, present and unborn.
To omo ye ade na se be ye omo ma omo nya wo omo mpo no omo mebre.
What can you na wia or partner will say Ghana has say this tribe is going to be the movers and shakers of Ghana.
And indeed.
It is a bibi bakoswa. Omo no kasape enu no obi abedi akire.
Obi abeti order from above.
O pesika dia ye bibi a eho na obeko ene ade. We are here. We are quiet. We benya obi no aba begina no wo defend it. Eish. I will not.
Na o mani mu ayetimi aboka ma ye kan tia. Na ye pre carry forward.
Ye mo Ghana fama nipa baako. Ye nyina ye dia. Ye nyina ye dia. Hwe no mde ba kwasi ndu. Ye no mde no.
Atwra to dada.
Ye twa to.
Ni din nyina wo.
Me pesa me kan ne honum no because of Sadi Wenti. So
okay.
Because of that and me pesa me kan.
Ka me kra so me bebo. Yeah, mre.
Mami some example. What if you na ka say fictional? Then that writer we need to look for him. Now on prophesy on this country. Minim ya edin ya mebobo din natural. The writer no mabo ni do Madam Fopa.
You are sure Japade book no.
Madam Fopa, we dey mebo ni din natural. As we are moving on. Mebo ni din natural. One dey aboni din, one ni co-writers ni ade. Wo mo edin nwamba bia hyehyehye o monza. The technical team led by DM Oforiata should further evaluate the following details in order to choose the appropriate site. Galamsey. According to this book, Wamuwo 332 Galamsey companies. Nina, are you a? Okay, Wamuni. Wamuna Shishana. The Northern Gold Coast Enterprise. So and so. Amanfi East. Wasa Amanfi East. Wofa say ya Takwa in Shoyom Municipal. Just say every district they are there. Pristina, Nzima East. Omachi chomu jinagum. Eti wana kacha say Galamsey betwazie. Wana kaza azam show. Se beti metwazie dia. Na che say ese abansi samba. Who say o mama? Don't say o mama. Mami tro ade bako. Undermining oil and gas industries. What did he? Was it our mining as well as oil and gas strategies constitute a major plank of the blueprint for controlling the extraction of natural resources, which God has generously bestowed on Ghana, particularly the Achim land. Was it to this end? A cursory look at the approved concessions should be looked at, as Santi Bedietro is to lead the process to take over this concession detail below and consolidate them into the standard Ejapa LLC incorporated in Jersey. Ejapa Ango Parliament. Sir, your mineral say you or moon above royalties in the Gaga. Adwene kese. Ya di biti Ghana. Now on this note, I will salute the minority in parliament.
Yeah, and do mo ho ye den so mo mpene.
Share Ejapa LLC incorporated in Jersey. Ya call register company no abrochire. And ye dey by same rofu bi na ba be hweso amai. Wo hu di e bo ha.
Oforiata.
Dabi
Hey, Asante Bedietro.
O say o make sure. Say something many yin akoso. And a parliament. Parliament board Mugalawe, and yes, anka ye mineral resources, a yibia wo mojijibia, e kwa bushamba bako. How can we live in a country like this? How can we live in a country like this? Ghana, baby, ye go di near you no mama pono hono kama no. I had you now take over.
Take over.
Adenti ananke as a state. Yes, mo bi ankonko tu galamsey ewo ye kwaye mu. Na manfo wo na yentimi stop wo. Do you know one strategy?
You didn't see I can't time the presidency nyina to on the line.
Do you know the strategy? You bet you use just 3 days. You be obi amra kwaye mu biom. That's all the strategy about me say no.
Wow.
Na Ghana forces, omo call no omo fly omo jet was ro honum. Near start to say you spray kwaye no ho de be wura ho. Why de be wura kwaye no mu?
Obi amra ho.
Obi amra ho. Yes there be. Yes e boy kwaye ho ban. Na abusuakuo bi according to this book.
Enti ade na eti say ya nunu ye ho ne because ye wi the taxpayers money. Near the ama operation the galam stop was a wine. Near Sunday bomb ho ka. All in the name say yes stop it galam say you enti stop it.
Okay? Telecommunication. Alliance oba. Say digitization betima koye no. Yes say low data. Low cost in data. Now we talk data 100 cities any 3 days nasa. How can you drive that? Ninyi na no ehun sam hyehyɛ ha. What you say? Bisa telcos bisa omo. Me say ya munyusu RTI no munyusu. He fan omo to omo yi ene sen eye den na sa pricing we eba. First na go mu nyina to no NCA. Fofofo. The first to data check. Ya di nkrofobia be hyehyem. Enti no NCA Emma 1/3 omo na je 2/3 enti telcos no betimato kitwa bi ewo NCA na fa kese na no akwakoto no ba bi ono soso no be say 3 times the price NCA de be ma enti ho de betua me ne wo na etua ekogo abusuan ba ko account mu na omo ache
Tiri modini.
I don't know why.
This is wickedness.
So there you know. Share. Me say the Paul trust Adorye or prophet o. A man for so be na share them no try no the to abontin. And I'm saying nipa a prophet. Listen. The political terrain. How do you know the political terrain? I don't want the party. African the Japan aba. Na fe Samuel Kudi so, John Bodu di so. Now mo the roaring factor aba. Other minor parties in the Kaika, religious and chieftaincy. Nti other smaller parties, you know, or more kasa you should understand. Next baby I know more kasa no ko. Ni na wa.
Achichira show manum. Na no ba ko bi amani
Transemi. Ah, ye de cars bebre.
Ai. Me say ana wo per president ni bia dia na say den. What's other ni PR ama government. Almost so many say ha.
Almost I say. Share. Oh say I don't yeah hand you over that.
Ewa ha.
Kroma. Ye nyina wo kroma. Mo hand you over. What the security for on yes on the DJ. Ade omuni ani, omuni adwene. Omo hu say obi e pep change. E change no. Ombed Daniel Bumwa. Mwangasa ombo say. Sure. What's it as we make final push for EC registration? It is sub IUA about 2019. It is important to roll out our final onslaught to ensure that NDC eventually become a fringe party. Whereas we do not expect the Electoral Commissioner herself to blatantly cripple the NDC, we could deploy the other non-EC functions, such as the need to maintain law and order. So what? Using our people within the security agencies to frustrate NDC supporters from either registering or voting. I know Mabodin, Brad Champon will be the key in this endeavor. We must have a critical evaluation of our strength and weakness in order to be well positioned for the task ahead. Now, the party, the youth and women's wing of our party remain our weakest link. Every effort must therefore be made to get our national organizer to fill in the gap. Same apply to getting Eslausu to assist the women's wing. Adorye by 2019. 2020 elections. Estro usuja Abrekuma West. No one nam Tolong, no one nam Borga Central, no one nam Wa, no one nam Babia. And then never has it. We should assist the women's wing. Eti, the writer, the great prophet of our time, say a calculated plan. That's when you person a G2 say it's a fiction there. Now we the greatest prophet in our time. As a CAT
because more they are doing the same thing.
No more catch a grade up, or more café Japan, above Adam. No more kind of say Alan, ever take over. They should try and then bypass him. Yanko for being free enough. Abum. Bibio Muka book in Mubia, abum. Don't board with the American crown MMO.
You are quite fast to
Omu yes, a bit too.
You're too simple, and I'm a Brian Mobo. Oh, what's your column? No wonder.
You're too so simple. Ma Obia and Fasadi way in Diagro. Media Obia who said a book Muna American free. And I'm not the writer. At Ghana, Nipa bebree ekitasadi we amikan. Eti ebe biebiem, ye be magana for ho. No mun take a wise decision. Because national cake no, ye na ye dia. Adenti, and I say ye. Now, the national situation as regard to the media landscape. Me babe king can baby actually. No one said the nyama essay air cover. Me ba be think am. Hey, what can I do no?
Oh, to bo.
What can I do no?
Oh, to your projection man see pepe say dia say.
Eslowusu on closure of opposition media. We score Eslowusu 70% for her execution of the agenda to close down pro-NDC radio and television stations. Yeah. While we praise her for closing media entities such as Radio XYZ, Capital Radio, Munche FM, and many more, she scored some low marks in the implementation of the strategy. We expected her to leave Radio Gold from the list for obvious tactical reasons. She could have waived their debt like she has done for our friendly stations such as Ask FM in Kumasi. She could have been fired for the avoidable backlash in strategy, but for her long-standing role as Nane's protege.
Hey, but I want
Phase 2. Tier phase 2. Phase 2 of media control. Was it there is no doubt that Joy 99.7 FM and the multimedia group will remain an industry leaders in the communication sphere of the country. While relying on them as a veritable ally, anti-NPP agenda by some of their staff does not pretend well to us. We were left with no choice but to have used our voice, in quote, to threaten Manasseh Azuri Awuni. While his publication on the past inured to our political benefit, he has overstretched himself in his attempt to assume an air of neutrality. He was influential to our historic victory, but his constant attack on government culminating into the militia documentary was most unfortunate. Oka, some multimedia, omo lead in the airwaves. Awa hase. Na adwuma wo mo yeye e de boa NPP mo ba victory no good. Na so some of the elements wo mo a o ma kwakoye o ma kwakoye anti government. Enti no wo mo sheda no mo use boys e de threaten Manasseh Azuri ebe mo na zama. Manasseh Azuri anyane akwankwa South Africa boy de ho adwa. Ni ye ka that time na me hu we me say ebe de na sade we abam enya no kre sa na ye no kre pa sa na ye no kre enti se obi na tena ne dem trotro sade we e ma no ba out 2019 na after 2020 election sa nyoma we nyina esisi a me say let us look for the person Let us look for that person. Oh, me boy, Mr. DM Mufurata, I'm say, or a co-writer, or a madam for minimum. Now, Oshe, hijacking of JVC. Now, the judiciary and governance in Ghana. Yen party court. So that the next 20 years, they can be in control. I don't want to see nominating more people to Supreme Court.
Yeah, no one here work you'll be out.
I don't want agenda in here.
K-Bar TV.